Okay, welcome to the first match. We won the die roll, so we're gonna play first. Okay, that's an easy mulligan. It's not a great hand, but it's maybe keepable given that we have a lot of 2-mana spells, 1 land and a scry. Think it should be better than the average 5-card hand. Think I'm just gonna keep and hope we find a land with the scry. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's not the best land, but we can just like fetch a breeding pool with the flooded strand, and then we can cast everything except lightning bolt, which is fine, especially given that we have none. Okay, so the opponent is on 8-rec. I honestly have no idea how that matchup is, and also it's not that relevant of a matchup, but you actually like run into that deck a bit more frequently on Magic Online currently, but I haven't played against it with that deck yet. So turn 2 Tarmogoyf to get some pressure going. We have to be careful about Ensnaring Bitch. And another thing that's worth noting is that our combo is not very good here, just because it can't win through Ensnaring Bitch. So the matchup is actually a bit tricky. And I think since remanding Bridge doesn't really do much for us here, just gonna play a Tarmogoyf and attack for 1. The point is just keeping Remand open doesn't do much against Pack Rat. He can just play a land and not play anything. I mean, we can end of turn Snapcaster Mage, but yeah, it's not that great. I guess it's worth considering there, instead of playing the Goyf, to just like... Problem is we can't even block here, because he can just discard a land to make another red and then kill the Goyf. I think it would have been interesting alternatively to consider just passing with Remand and Snapcaster, because then we can like ambush the Pack Rat, but then again we're just like trading a hand card for a hand card. I mean, we gain 1 mana in the process, but yeah, I think we just don't block. Yeah, see, he discarded a land to make another red. So now we are in a bit of trouble. So I guess we just have to pass, especially given that we didn't find another land. Nah. Would have been nice if he dredged there with our Tarmogoyfs, but that's obviously wishful thinking. So I guess here we can just like it's interesting. I mean, we can Snapcaster and like double block with Snapcaster and Goyf. Then we lose a Goyf. He loses a Pack Rat. I guess that's our best bet. Gonna block the re-red just because the token doesn't go to the graveyard, and having a creature in both graveyards might matter. Plus, I think we don't have anything that matters. No, we don't have a bounce effect to bounce the copy, but still there's no harm in just like getting rid of the real one. Yeah, he has another land, so we even lose both guys. It's pretty bad. These draws are not gonna get us anywhere. I guess even in modern pack red sometimes it's as good as they come. I guess we have to try and like block again. Can like double block. Trade Tarmogoyf for pack red. Then he has 2 pack reds and we have a Snapcaster. So we can like draw a land and cast a knight, I guess. Yeah. This is not great, but I think that's like the best option. If we draw a land and get to knight, we might be able to combo him before we die, if he has no removal, which is not very likely. So yeah. That's actually perfect for us, like, don't know why he's smothered there. So now we basically just need to draw a red land. And then we finally gotten rid of the pack red. I guess he's smothered there because he didn't have another land, so the Goyf or another creature to this card, so the Goyf would have grown out of reach for him. Sweet. Finally managed to find the right land here, so we just kill the pack red. Problem is now we basically are in wreck reach and he probably has a bunch of discard, so the game is still not looking very good for us. No, at least he doesn't seem to have anything relevant. I certainly appreciate that. So we still have a shot. Let's see if we can make it. So I think we probably just I mean, I kind of feel like that he would have taken the knight or the retreat with his blackmail if he couldn't stop the combo. But then again, we have no way to protect the knight anyway. I think it's fine to just try and go for it anyway. It's better than just like snapcastering. So we can't take much damage because of wreck. So we probably can't kill him this turn. So I feel like we just aim for killing him in 2 turns. We also have the bolt next turn to help. So we're gonna scry here for like the end of the chain. Since every fetch gives us a free scry or a free tap untap. So how much damage can we still take? Like if we discard both cards we take 3, so I don't think we want to take any extra damage here. So I'm just gonna go for like so I think we won't need white anymore, but I think we want Kasich next turn just in case. So I'm gonna get Kasich so that we exactly have Kasich trample mana. Don't want to draw that. So hit him for 9. He seems to have nothing. I wonder what his hand is. Found the removal. That's not too great for us. Lightning bolt. Not too bad. So I guess we just pass and like end of turn snapcast the bolt and hope that gets the job done. That is pretty bad for us. Yeah, he probably has a bunch of lands in hand. Yeah. So we basically just gonna die in the upkeep to the wreck. Yep, we're just dead. So we want negate, Pride Mage. Actually I think we might want Pyroclasm against the reds. Jace is nice because it helps us keep our hand size. So is there anything else that's worth it? Like Dispel, Stop Smother. That might be good enough. I think Remand's pretty bad, since most of his stuff is pretty cheap, or he has pack red to like make us waste our mana anyway. Not sure why he discarded Remanding M1, that just seemed really bad for what his deck is doing. I think Thragtusk's actually fine just because gaining life is relevant. I think pass pretty bad. I think maybe no Pyroclasm after all. Maybe one. Not sure. Actually negate's fine, it counters the wreck and Shrieking Affliction and Bridge, so I probably want it. Maybe one Dispel less. maybe one retreat less, just because he has removal and discard, which makes comboing kind of hard. The card's pretty bad on its own. I think I might actually want to cut all the retreats because of that. Maybe just have the pyroclasms as an insurance policy. Yeah, that seems okay. I just feel like comboing is not likely to happen against him, and we don't want to draw a retreat off the top when he stripped our hand down. Though I think cutting retreat makes sense here. Yeah, that's a good hand. We're gonna keep that. An important thing here, as usual with like multicolor, like 3-4 color decks with fetch lands, is to consider what to fetch with what land. And since we already have the basic planes, and I don't think we need a Sacred Foundry in that game, I think we're just gonna go ahead and fetch a Stomping Ground with that, and then we have two fetches that can fetch basics if we want to, which is actually pretty likely that we will, since we want to mitigate the damage we take against his Rex. And we can just like curve Hierarch into 4/4 Knight, unless he does that. But even then we're just gonna think fetch an island here, keep the Flooded Strand in case we care about Sacred Foundry for whatever reason, but by now Misty Rainforest fetches everything but Sacred Foundry in the deck with the planes in hand. So 3/4 Goyf into Knight here is a pretty strong curve, especially since the Knight will be 5/5, so he most likely needs 2 removal or targeted discard on our Knight into removal. Oh sweet, that makes our Knight even bigger. I'd rather keep the basic than the Flooded Strand here. No, that's pretty good. There goes our Knight. And there goes our next Knight. I think it's better to play the planes here so we have white, since if we play this, fetch a forest, he just discards the planes. Even though the Knight would be one bigger than 7/7 instead of a 6/6 after we discard this, but still, it's like important to get the white mana in play. Now we can cast every spell in the deck. There's a wreck, and a Shrieking Affliction. That's pretty bad. So we take, yeah, so we take like 8 damage here. But we might be able to raise this. Yeah, like if he has no removal, we can raise this. And even against removal we have Dispel, so... yeah, so he's just... no, we just exactly die. Wow. Unreal. Okay. That's the first match. We just dead. See you for the second match.